All right. Welcome. We back again, once again, time and time again, my friend. So, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, in between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be hopping on here having a live stream, just briefly updating the pairs and the directions that they're potentially headed over the next couple days. If you like that idea, go ahead and drop me a thumbs up for the consistency as well. I'm trying to stay consistent Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you are subscribed with the post notifications turned on. That way you do get notified when I go live. You get the little drop down notification. You can just tap it and you plugged right in. But yeah, other than that, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to keep it brief unless told otherwise by the chat. So they're going to do what we just keep doing, going over XAU USD on the monthly time frame. We are moving to the downside quite aggressively now. We've had several bearish candles in a row. We try to make a little retracement with this monthly candle, pushing to the upside, but we've thus been getting rejected. We did try to make a breakout and start to break some structure, but we were underneath structure. We spoke about it last time. We wanted to see a break above of some more structure before we start to look for buy opportunities. If we do drop down to the daily time frame, you can see that this is the area we wanted to see the market hold price, then see a continuation to the upside. But since we are starting to get broken below, probably will be trend continuation for what we've seen for a while now. So we've just been making lower lows and lower highs on this market. It looks like that is going to continue in a move to the downside. So if we could get some structure created in here, some type of maybe pullback, maybe for a re-entry to look for a continuation to the downside, that could be possible as well. We do still have this level of structure right in here, but depending on how the market looks on a retracement back up to some of these levels could depend on whether we actually look for the short or perceive this as a bounce for the market to continue higher. So, but as it is right now, just following the trend, making lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs on this market, we want to look for a continuation to the downside. Now, if we look at XAG USD on the monthly time frame, we last spoke about it. We did have previous structure resistance right in this area, acting as support. We were pushing to the upside. We did not get the monthly close as I spoke about. This is the monthly candle, so we do have time for this candle to go ahead and actually form and give us some information on what we want to see. But if we do drop down to the weekly candle, you can see that we do have this move to the upside right here, retesting the resistance that is currently in the market. We wanted to see a continuation to the upside, some sort of break of structure all the way up, and then a continuation that could still be possible. But as it is right now, the market is just in trend. So until we start to get a break of some of these levels, we can't be looking for the long. If we look at it on the daily time frame, you can see that the area we wanted to see the market respect is now getting broken below, which could put us in a situation to where we have the move up, the move back down. We want to see this area be used as previous structure once again for a continuation to the downside. So until we get some of these levels broken, right now all we can do is just follow trend. XPT USD on the monthly time frame, we had a double bottom in this area we last spoke about, really a triple bottom, and then the market is starting to make moves to the upside. And once again, this monthly candle still has time to form. So the way that it is not the way that it's going to close. But on the weekly time frame, we are starting to make moves to the upside. We had our resistance level in here that we wanted to see broken to the upside. If we do look at the daily time frame, we do have still a nice and easy most common pattern in the market, just a simple impulse to the upside, coming back for a retracement. Just want to see a continuation for the trend to continue. But what we want to see out of here is the market come back and retest some of these levels. We do have a weird level in the market right in here. We finally broke, come back up. We could see this possible area be used for the bounce that we want to see for the move to the upside. But the market is bearish on these daily time frames for all these pairs, so they are correlated. Keep that in mind. Until we start to see a bullish market, we no longer, or we can't be looking for any setups on this move, on any of these markets. Excuse me. U.S. oil on the monthly time frame, recapping previous structure resistance, now acting as support. Now this monthly candle still has time to form and close, but if we look at the weekly time frame, we have a nice and easy explosion out of here. The move down, found some support, move down, break back into the area, immediate break back into the area. We could see this area be used as possible support for a continuation to the upside, and that's on the weekly. And then if we look at the daily time frame, you can see that we've had a nice and easy impulse explosion to the upside, looking like we're going to start some correction, which is needed in order to see a continuation to the upside. So I'll just be waiting for the retracement to end on US oil. Euro USD monthly time frame pushing to the downside quite aggressively. If we look at the weekly time frame, you can see that we've had weekly structure support now act as resistance right on this side. And if we do pull out our Fibonacci's, you can see nice and easy golden ratio touch right in here, and we're starting to make a move to the downside. If you look at the daily time frame, you can see we're starting to break below some structure, which is nice. If we do get some sort of pull back in here or something, we could possibly look for a re-entry, not a re-entry, but an entry for us to go ahead and see the market continue to the downside. Geez, I can't speak. If we do get some sort of retracement back into these areas in here, we could look for a possible entry for the market to continue to the downside, because on this pair we are just following trend. We've just been making lower lows and lower highs, moving to the downside for quite some time now, months and months and months on end. Just really easy market structure, move to the downside, come back for the retracement, start to have a complex correction, and then we continue to the downside. So could be looking out for that. Really just waiting for the market to give me some sort of entry opportunity. If we look at GBP USD, now once again these pairs will be correlated. They have the USD pair in them. On the monthly time frame, we're pushing to the downside quite aggressively. We do have this candle. We want to see the next one fill in the wick as well, and that is on the monthly time frame. If we look at it on the weekly, we've had some of the same things that we saw in Euro USD. So we had the breakdown, come back, retest previous structure support, now turned resistance, and just want to see the continuation to the downside, continuing the trend. If we pull out our Fibonacci's on this as well, let's go ahead and see. We did have the 786 rejection touch, which lined up perfectly with structure, and now we're starting to see the move to the downside. So we could expect further bearishness on GBP USD. If we do look at the daily time frame, you can see that we did come into previous structure right in here before getting rejected. Once again, we are starting to make moves to the downside. So if we could get some structure creation to where we can actually look for something to enter in on, we could see the possible continuation to the downside on GBP USD. So we got the perfect break, retest. We want to see the continuation, just as we pointed out in past live streams. So we'll call these out early, days in advance, man. It's just where the market is headed. Now imagine if you know where the market's headed and you have a system that can take advantage of those moves, how much easier trading would be for you. Go ahead and click the link in the description and you can get that. AUD USD monthly time frame pushing to the downside. If we look at the weekly is getting quite aggressive, moving to the downside with a lot of volatility. And if we do look at the daily time frame, we can see that we did break below this structure. So if we get some sort of retracement back into some of these structure areas, it could provide an opportunity for us to go ahead and look for a continuation to the downside. USD CAD monthly time frame, monthly pushing to the upside very aggressively. On the weekly, we have come into some areas of resistance right in here, starting to retest those areas as well. On the daily, you can see that we came in once, rejected, came in again, rejected, and we're now approaching these areas. Really ideally, you would like to see a break above this area before you start to look for buy opportunities. And then as well, you could see the rejection to the downside to come and retest some of these lows down in here. But either way, we still need to see structure broken before you start to look for any types of trades. NZD USD monthly time frame moving to the downside quite aggressively. On the weekly time frame, we are starting to make moves to the downside. We did retest, but we're getting rejected. Some of these lows down in here, we are coming into an area of previous structure support, not only once, but twice. And as it is right now, it is starting to act as structure support once again. So if we get a clean break below, could then look for the retracement back into this area for a continuation to the downside. USD CHF monthly time frame. Now, we've been talking about it. I've been talking about it a whole lot. It's just the same things over and over and over. USD CHF pushing to the upside, still gaining ground on the monthly time frame, still pushing to the upside very aggressively. We have the most common pattern in the market exposed on one of the highest time frames, so it's one of the most powerful patterns there is out there. And it's just a simple break above structure, come back for the retracement, retest previous structure resistance, now acting as support, and you just want to see a higher high created, continuing the trend. We're getting that on the monthly. If you look at the weekly time frame, we're starting to break above some levels as well. So if we did get a retracement back into some of these levels, we could look for an opportunity to long this pair. If we drop down to the daily time frame, what can you see is we're starting to create what pattern? Nice move up, move down, move up, move down, move up. You want to see this pattern completed at the neckline, and then from there you want to see the trend continue. So once this impulse finishes, could possibly look for the retracement, the move back down to complete the pattern, and then the continuation to the upside to continue the trend. Excuse me. USD JPY monthly time frame pushing to the upside quite aggressively. Weekly time frame pushing to the upside quite aggressively as well. And then if we do look at the daily time frame, we are starting to break above some structure, where if we do get a retracement back down into this area, from there we could possibly see the continuation to the upside. So we've been speaking about it for a while. We wanted to see the market break above this resistance level before we start to look for buy opportunities. Now we usually always go over BTC USD as well. And if we zoom out on the monthly time frame, what do we have? Previous structure resistance, now acting as support. Just simple and basic. If we drop down to the weekly time frame, you can see that we have found a level of support in this area that is acting as support until broken below. So we could see a possible move to the upside from here, just to make some retracements. Since we've been moving down for so long, we've been down, so we could have some retracement moves just for the continuation to the downside, because we do not expect market to make a move to the upside yet. Not the move that everybody's expecting to go ahead and break the highs until 2024, which is the next halving event. So until then, we might see just low volatile moves back and forth. But as it is now, we need to break some structure anyway before we start to look for anything either way, to the upside or to the downside. So just keeping that in mind. And that will pretty much conclude what we got going on today, man. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, in between 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be hopping on this live stream. I will be hopping on this live stream, just going over some pairs really quickly, answering questions in the chat, anything y'all got. It's really basically up to you all. on how long this thing lasts and what all we do. As for right now, I just don't want to waste anybody's time. This is a quick way to look at a market breakdown, just to go ahead and prepare yourself for the days ahead. But if you want to go ahead and interact, I'll be more than happy. It's open, it's free. Come kick it with your boy. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I don't see any chats, so we're gonna keep it moving. We'll be back on Wednesday in between 3 and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you're having a profitable day on and off the charts. And until next time.